So Kara Dansky probably doesn't vote for the same people we vote for, but she's one of the only people we know who has persistently defended the right of women to exist, and we are grateful for that. She's president of the U.S. chapter of Women's Declaration International, author of the book The Abolition of Sex. She joins us tonight. Kara Dansky, thanks for coming on. And I'm sorry to make fun of it, because it is, of course, going to destroy civilization itself. But it is kind of amazing that all these self-aware, well-educated people are saying this stuff that actually is a huge middle finger in the face of women everywhere.
It is. It's horrible. Thanks so much for having me. Giving a Women of Courage award to a man on International Women's Day is, of course, appalling and disgusting to feminists, including myself, who fight for the rights, privacy, and safety of women and girls. And also, it's not more horrible than anything else that's gone on in terms of the erasure of women and girls throughout society. We are all expected to accept men who claim to be women, either simply by saying that they are, or by undergoing hormonal and or surgical treatment to make themselves appear maybe slightly more like women. And we're all just supposed to accept it and go along. I do want to take quick issue with your assertion that feminism is dead. I am here to assure viewers feminism is not dead. But where I will agree with you is that mainstream feminist organizations that claim to be feminist, including organizations like Planned Parenthood and the National Organization for Women and the National Center for Lesbian Rights, have completely caved to what is, in effect, an industry-fueled men's rights movement. So I'll agree with you on that. But there are those of us on the political left who call ourselves radical feminists, and we will not stop fighting for women and girls.
Do you think the average person on any issue has no voice at all in this country, and that's, I think, becoming more true with the day. But do you think the average woman sees this as insulting? As a man, as who actually likes women, this seems like the most insulting possible thing I can imagine. Do you think it's perceived that way?
I do. And, you know, the other day I came across really interesting polling that suggested that people who consider themselves to be either very liberal or liberal, around 70 to 75% know that sex is real, know that sex doesn't change. So when you're referring to liberals going along with this, of course, you're absolutely right that the Democratic Party is pushing this, and the sort of Democratic liberal elite is pushing this. But ordinary Americans across the political spectrum are not going along. And yes, I absolutely think that ordinary average American women see this as insulting. What they may not realize, though, is that it's no more insulting than the so-called trans movement has been to women and girls for years now.
That's right. That's right. And I appreciate your saying so. I know it's probably not a natural move to come on this show, but we're grateful that you do. Kara Dansky, thank you.
Thanks so much.
Nick and Charlie checked it out of his school's library. Watch.
I'm a sixth grader. I was in the library, and this book was on a stand. I'd like to read you a page. My back over my hips as I ask if we should take our clothes off. And he's saying yes before I finish my sentence. He's pulling off my t-shirt, laughing when I can't undo his shirt buttons. He's undoing my belt. I'm reaching into his bedside drawer for a condom. We're kissing. Again, we're rolling over. Obviously, you can see where this is going. I don't know if it's because we're feeling especially emotional or just tired, or these past couple of weeks have been too much. But this reminds me so much of the first time we had sex. We were both terrified, and the whole thing was kind of terrible because we didn't know what we were doing. But it was good too, so good.